Howdy, y'all! And welcome to the live stream. We need to figure out a better word than howdy. I know it's a funny meme. I know it's a good joke. We need a different word, though. Hi, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing good. Bilbo is, in fact, in here. For now. He is sleeping right now. Earlier, he was being a bit of a menace, but that's okay. He's here. He's chilling. Bilbo! His ear did move. But yeah. Hi guys! Welcome to the live stream. I hope you're all doing good. I realized after the event earlier, after Gamescom, that I had a bunch of different little topics to discuss. And over the past few hours, several things have happened that I think are hilarious. So I figured, you know what? We might as well... I think that's what we should do. We might as well have a little chat, because a lot of stuff has happened today. Obviously at Gamescom, with the whole democracy is dying spiel that they allowed on stage. That was pretty ridiculous. I know I had went on a little rant about it during that stream. How am I supposed to help it? They get on stage, they push their politics, but then they complain when other people do that. It's stupid. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to be talking about how I guess I've upset a couple politicians because... Oh, that's Suicide Squad. Don't look at that. Because there was this thread about porn must be abolished. Blada, 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 of course. It targets video games, right? It wants to ban video games. It wants to ban statues and drawings. And this politician, Dusty Devers, a Oklahoma State senator, blocked me. Yeah, I can't say I'm particularly shocked. So we're going to be chatting about that. We're going to be talking about Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals, the director was asked about what he thinks about people calling it a gooner game, and he basically said, I don't care. People like our designs, and we're here to make games for people, which, of course, I appreciate. And Hollywood Guy, thank you for the 5. Vera, you're my go-to. Did I miss anything in this Gamescom? I read your thumbnail about politics. What the crap? Yeah. Gamescom was okay. Gamescom, they showed off a lot of, like, Resident Evil, Silent Hill. We got the official announcement for the Black Myth Wukong sequel. We got a couple of, like, smaller games. Lords of the Fallen 2, which was really cool. But yeah, there was politics. Getting on stage talking about how democracy is dying. And all that, so we'll be talking about that soon. But thank you so much for the 5. I don't know why it's not letting me actually highlight this. Hold on one second. Ugh. Can I fix this? No. It's not technically highlighting them. I'm just highlighting them in chat. It's good enough. It's close enough, I suppose. Vera froze for a second. Uh-oh, did I? Yeah, YouTube seems a little... Well, I guess this is more StreamYard, but I think YouTube is also maybe a little bit broken tonight, if you know what I mean. And Corona, thank you for the 14 months as a supporter. Much appreciated. Hello, everyone. Hello. I hope your night is going good. Welcome on in. I think it's a setting, because I think it's not... You guys don't know. It's fine. It's for me to wonder and for you to not worry about. It is what it is. Vera broke the Twitter. I don't think I broke Twitter. One thing that X does, though, that pisses me off is it will say I have a message and then I don't have a message. It does that all the time. So we'll be chatting about that. We'll be talking about Gamescom quite a bit because not only are there politics in terms of people getting on stage and talking about politics, but we got some very interesting character designs. We've seen a couple of interesting ones. Now, as a woman, what is a woman? First of all, as a woman, I love seeing female characters who are strong. I love seeing female characters who are, yeah, I mean, like, more than their sexuality. I don't think that sexy is the only thing a character has to be. But I also think that there needs to be a certain level of attractiveness to characters most of the time, unless the story is specifically supposed to be, yeah, this character's ugly and everybody's maybe mean to this character because of that, or something of the sort. Then yeah, I just kind of think that characters should probably be semi-attractive. And well, we saw an extraordinary amount of this today at Gamescom. We saw it with Outer Worlds. We saw it with Call of Duty. Yeah. I get it. We're not going to see all of this disappear overnight. And I'm fine with characters not always looking the same, but maybe we could actually make characters that look cool again. Because none of these look good. It's not the color of their skin that's the problem. It's the fact that this is literally the fucking cringe squad. You've got the half-shaved haircut. What are these heart boots? Hate that. It's just not good. And I can't say I'm particularly shocked given the state of the industry. But there was quite a few games that we saw today that either were announced that showed these types of characters, or we got updates to them and they kind of look terrible. It's just really unfortunate that, like, this is what we're getting out of the industry. We, like, very rarely do we actually get characters who genuinely look amazing now, and that sucks. Right? It's different if you have one character who isn't attractive, or two characters, but when every character in your game looks insane, yeah, that's not good. I don't really know who they're trying to target with this, because we know that the modern audience, which just means the sensitive snowflakes on social media, they don't really buy games. Hell, some of them are even on social media calling for games to be banned. You'd think that these companies would give up on this audience and they'd actually support the people who, I don't know, are going to keep them in fucking business. But they don't. They don't care, seemingly. And we'll probably end up talking a little bit more about Collective Shout. I've done a video on the fact that they want cyber harassers to go to jail. Chat, this might be my last stream. Please make sure to leave a like. Leave a nice comment in chat, because this might be the last one. These are serious cases of cyber harassment, and there needs to be government responses, including international cooperation between law enforcement agencies. It's never enough for them. You know, at first it's, oh, the content in the game, and then it's the people who play the game, and then it's not just, oh, hey, people need to be slightly nicer online. It's, we need to get these people arrested, and they need to go to jail for the rest of their lives, and we need government response rapidly. I'm not sitting here saying that these women have received 0 death threats or 0 comments that push the line, right? Because there are millions and millions of people online who are talking about the situation, and I'm sure that there's some people who are willing to cross the line, but at the same time, they want to paint a certain narrative around this, that the majority of people are sending them death threats and R threats and all of these disgusting messages, when really, sure, there might be a very tiny amount of them, so they can technically say they exist, but they want to paint it as if it's this epidemic, as if it's this massive problem, when, of course, we know that the majority of what they're receiving online right now are legitimate criticisms. And they are the type of people who will take something and then, of course, spin it out of proportion and blow it out of proportion. And they're in Australia, right? So they think that because they can censor people there and they can censor so many products there, that should be the mentality worldwide, which, of course, many of you certainly do not agree with. These people are kind of fucking insane, but yeah, we'll be chatting about that a little bit more as well. I think that it's so funny when they say something like a Gamergate returns. It just goes to show that they haven't been paying attention to the video game industry at all. Because we've been in the middle of Gamergate 2 since, I'd roughly say, the beginning of 2024. Obviously, a couple months before that, you had things like Alan Wake 2, which brought up sweet babying and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives being forced into the industry. So, like, technically you could say, oh, well, it started months before, but I would say Kill the Justice League in February of 24 is where it really started to kick off and kind of become a coordinated discussion about the state of the video game industry. So, yeah. They just love to prove that they know nothing about what they're talking about. Which I don't think we expected anything better from these people. They want to target an industry that they view as male-dominated. But, yeah, Gamergate rebooted. Yeah. Clown Australia, that's not going to make them happy. I agree, though. Australia's really bad about censorship, which is why these people feel emboldened, because they're used to their, like, home base, we'll call it, being supportive of censorship. Censorship is a norm in Australia. Now, I actually have a couple percent of Australian viewers in our audience. I'm sorry to our fellow Australians out there, right? My Australian supporters. Sorry. I'm not trying to trash all of you, but, like, name one good thing about Australia right now. Hey, I'm not hating on you. I'm hating on the people that represent you in your political sphere, because they suck. Australia seems very, very bad, though. The weather's good. Never heard anything good about the weather, but I guess I've necessarily never heard anything awful about the weather, so that's something. So yeah, those are the topics. Hi guys, welcome on in to the live stream. Let's start off with some ugly characters. Vera's about to edit Australia. That guy never came back. That guy came into the stream and told me to, I don't remember, he said like where he's gonna edit a country. He's like, what country would you edit? And then I said North Korea. That place needs a fucking edit. He never came back. It is what it is. Bilbo moves. Bilbo. Oh. Bilbo. Oh, hero. Oh. Nobody move. If you move, you're gonna ruin everything, chat. Don't move. Hero. Oh, he blinked. Oh, okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. It's like when he looks at you, you can't move. You have to just stay as still as possible. Anyway. Hi guys. Welcome to the live stream if you're just getting here. Alright. Ugly women in video games. As a woman myself, first of all, what is a woman? As a woman myself, I can appreciate attractive female characters in games, but I can also appreciate attractive male characters in games. I think that the majority of entertainment should feature attractive people because I want to look at the height of humanity or the peak of, we'll just say like a living individual, because technically there are characters out there like that are like robots and stuff that aren't technically human, but they're supposed to look like humans, like Eve, whatever. We want to look at attractive things in our video games. And not every single character needs to be some big, busty bombshell. But I think that the majority of times, characters should be pretty. And I don't think that that's a problem. And it's perfectly fine to have characters who are not supposed to be pretty. Like Brienne of Tarth, for example. A integral part of her story is the fact that she's not conventionally attractive. And there are people that are mean to her and make fun of her for that. That's cool. That can add depth to a character. But ultimately, right? You've got characters who are being created in the modern time almost to just make a statement. They're not supposed to be... They're not... I don't know how to say it. They're not supposed to be, like, ugly for a specific reason. They're not supposed to look a certain way for people that are actually buying a game. And they're developers. Now, I'm not saying this is always the case, right? But there are always developers nowadays in a lot of projects who go into it trying to upset people with the way that characters look, or storylines that are created, or narratives, of course, that are talked about in our entertainment. And well, today at Gamescom, we saw some very interesting looking characters. We saw some very, very questionable designs. And I'm not even just talking about their designs simply looking bad. I'm also talking about these developers just not being able to create, I don't even know, like, humanistic looking characters at all. Because when I look at these two characters, I don't know, to me they just don't scream people. They almost scream like caricatures. They look abysmal. And well, we saw quite a few today. Saw quite a few different designs, and they are getting absolutely roasted by gamers. Not particularly shocking. We saw some from Black Ops 7. Like, I don't know, that looks bad. We saw some from The Outer Worlds 2. People comparing them to Concord designs. That's how you know you're absolutely fucking cooked. Bad looks all around. I don't know what it is about these cringe squads that we've been getting lately, but there's been so many games like that. I love a good, like, squad dynamic in a game. I think that's great. I think it's super cool to have characters who team up together and are in these situations together, and they have to overcome obstacles together. Oh, that's great. But why do they have to look like this? Why? The person to the right in this image looks like they crossbred Willy Wonka with a goth Nosferatu. What a completely out of pocket statement. That is absolutely insane. It's absolutely crazy. I've heard it's because they use Unreal Metahuman. They should use Reallusion Character Creator instead. I think these people, yeah, just need to get fucking good at their jobs. That's for sure. COD players don't give a shit about designs. I think they do because these companies are trying to sell skins, right? I don't think that every character, again, is expected to be a bombshell. But when you've got a Call of Duty and a major way that you make money off of it is skins and microtransactions, yeah, I mean, I would say these designs are not going to help them make the money. Expedition 33 used MetaHuman. Whatever Expedition 33 used, they did fucking good. That game looks so gorgeous. That game was absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, they blame it on the Unreal Engine 5 character creator. Seasoned game devs don't use it. See, these people just need to get good at their jobs. They really, really do. I'll let them scrolling up a little bit. I said, bad there are men in Thailand that look better. I think we are seeing the last breaths of these woke devs who can't come to peace with the fact that their era is over. I think that it's hard to say if it's over, right? Because I think that the industry will always have room for people with different opinions and different aesthetic designs and choices, right? I don't think that we're going to one day see every single like woke individual leave the industry or be out of the industry. There will always be room for people with different opinions. But I think that a major problem right now is the fact that there are such long development times for games, right? And I've talked about this at length. When a game takes 5 to 10 years to develop, it's still going to be years before all of those games come out. And there's another potential wave of different designs. It's like Star Wars Eclipse. That's already been in development for several years. That's not supposed to come out until like 2028. Right now, we are seeing senior quest designers being hired for Elder Scrolls 6. Senior quest designers! Are you telling me they haven't designed any of the quests yet? Are you telling me that this person's helping finish up the game and then they're going to end up making, like quests for the DLC? Like, we're already talking 7 years since that was announced. 7! And you're hiring senior quest designers now? That doesn't make sense. Well, I guess it does, because that's how long development times are. But to me, it would make no sense. It makes no sense to put a decade of time into something. Regardless, right? We're talking about it still being years and years and years before we could potentially see a large switch up in the industry. And I think that there are developers who are changing their projects around now. It's definitely easier for smaller teams and AA AA's and indies, right, to listen to their customers, because AAA teams have so many people on a team, so many people that have to agree, and then people that disagree, and all of that. But yeah, I mean, it can take years for things to really change. But yeah, we're already seeing that the payment processors are compromised. Until at least that changes, nothing's over. Why are we still getting ugly video characters? Because, well, there's always going to be. Even if we do see a major shift in the industry, we're still going to see a large difference of characters, or a large array of characters that look different. Johnny, thank you so much for the 2. I just walked in and OMFG. What the hell is that mess? Which one? This set of images? This set of images? This set of images? So bad. Oh, it's so bad. And again, I have no problem with them creating characters that, like, look diverse, right? There are plenty of characters out there who have all these different skin colors and body types that I do think look cool, but are these designs what people want? I definitely don't think so. Stop the male gaze now. I scrolled up a little bit. That's so funny to me. It's so true. We need to stop it right now. What is this? Fake anti-censorship streamer. I have a question for you. Why do you burn bridges on social media like a little child? Brother, what are you talking about? Forget Sydney Sweetie and anti-woke commercials. I want good video. No. I completely disagree. We need to have bad video. You know what? We need to ban the video. Ugly characters only. Every clothing advertisement, the person or the character needs to be at least 450 pounds. And I can't even get through saying something fucking sarcastic without just laughing. I can't. Yeah, no, I agree. We just need good video. Ban the male gaze. We do need to ban it. Yep. You're reading some wild ass comments tonight. I just read comments that are put in chat. I don't know what that person was talking about. Apparently I'm a fake anti-censorship channel. He didn't ever respond to what he meant though. I'm burning bridges on social media, guys. Speaking of that, I've got politicians blocking me now for calling them out, which we'll talk about. You don't even understand English? You don't want to have a conversation. You don't have to pseudo-block me in your brain. Learn to be nice to people. That's the point of social media. Can you refer to the specific situation? Otherwise, you're just sitting here saying a bunch of words that ultimately don't mean anything because you're not giving any context. I don't block people on social media. I'm not ignoring anybody specific. Brother, there are 306 people here. The world does not revolve around you. Hey, if you have a specific question, let me know. Right? I'm happy to answer. Vera blocked me, true story. Where's this bitch? Get over it. What's your... Oh my fucking god. It's EFF, isn't it? Oh my god. I can't even find you to block you. Sarcastic. Lone Wolf, thank you for the 10. You want to see a block? I'll give it to you. Oh, thank you for the 10. I have a hard time believing AAA games can not redesign those characters, so they made them, so they are more attractive if mods can do it. There's no excuse for AAA games to not adjust. Oh, I agree. They are fully capable of adjusting their designs. It's just that they're very one-track minded. They're very full of themselves, right? They believe that what they are doing will eventually pay off. It's like I call it the Bob Iger effect, but they could start listening to people. Again, I think that it's easier for smaller teams to do it at this point because with smaller teams, there's less people who like might be fighting back or arguing against it. But yeah, I mean, they could. There really is no excuse for them to not adjust. But, of course, thank you so much for your 10. Guys, I appreciate all of your donations, all of your support. Thank you so much. You prove my point. I don't make any sense yet. You do. Tech, if you could make your argument clearly, I can respond to whatever argument or post you are referring to. And if you don't, you can't expect to be taken seriously. I have never seen your name on X. I haven't blocked you. Right? You've been in the stream before. You had donated $20 before, which I appreciate. You're a supporter. I appreciate that. Right? But I don't know what it is you'd like. I don't know what it is you'd like me to respond to. I don't know what it is you'd like me to, yeah, respond to. Why did you falsely accuse someone and then take it back only to get blocked by someone that can help you? I don't know what you mean. Who? Okay. I'm only saying it one more time. You have to give details. Can you give a name? I need a name. It is what it is. I'm moving on. I'm not getting one guide tonight. You're fighting with yourself. Chris, thank you for the 199. Stop pseudo brain blocking. Vera, do better, brother. Thank you for the 199. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ban you. Every donator gets banned tonight. Because that's the type of person I am. I didn't click it. Thank you so much for the 199. Rob? Question mark? Thank you for gifting. And Rob? Question mark? Thank you for gifting 2 memberships to the channel. What a Chad. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Did anyone block you lately? I've probably gotten blocked by 50 people today. I got blocked by one person that I know for sure, and that's a politician. I probably got blocked. Hey, if you actually know a list of how to see who blocked me today, give it to me. I'll sit here, I'll call them all out. One by one. I'll give them each the half-hour spotlight they want. But I personally... you always sit here and argue with myself. Lime says I block Vera all the time. For every person that donates tonight, I'll personally block you live on stream. You're not better than that politician. Not with this loser attitude. The loser attitude of sitting here and saying fuck censorship. Censorship is bad. And if I'm a loser for saying fuck censorship, I guess I'm the biggest fucking loser you've ever seen. That's me, guys. Anyway. It is what it is. Hey, so, going back to this. Right now, whew, boy. Well, he didn't need to be hit. He didn't need to be hidden. I'll unhide him. He needed a good old timeout, though, to be fair. I get it, right? The Outer Worlds is... The thing with the Outer Worlds is that some people, right, did enjoy the first one. And that's totally cool. It's fine if you enjoyed the first one. Maybe the second one will be decent. But the problem with something like The Outer Worlds 2 in their character designs is it really just highlights the problem that we are seeing in the industry. And I don't think it's just Obsidian. I don't think it's just 1 or 2 studios. I think that it's a lot of studios following a lot of different people and a lot of different trends that they believe are going to pay off. And ultimately, a lot of activists doing what they think is going to earn them social points. And it's not. I mean, at this point, right, you would see this all paying off for people. And it's not. When has this actually paid off? When has this actually done something good for developers? And sure, there are some times where ultimately, right, there are going to be designs that I don't like, that, you know, you guys don't like, that is not going to connect with people. Not every game needs to connect with every single person, but I have not seen one single individual on social media so far say that they like the look of this game, or that they like the look of these characters. You could have really cool, unique characters who happen to, I don't know, in one case, right, like be disabled and need to use this technology to get around and live their lives. But like, when can we stop the cringe squads? Can we just stop them, please? None of these characters look appealing or interesting in any way, shape, or form. Not a single one of them. Their armor looks bad. Looks very basic. You've got the shaved side haircuts. What are these heart boots? Those bother me. Don't like those. I guess this character, who I'm pretty sure is like an older woman, I guess her armor looks kind of decent. They just look like background characters. And you're telling me that this is supposed to be the cool squad that you get to hang out with you? It's just not clicking with me. Maybe it will click with other people. They wanted to charge $80 for Outer Worlds 2. Hello, Finger. Yeah. They thought that they were going to be able to charge $80 for this trash. And then they said, you know what? Just kidding. And then they tried to play the good guy. And then they backtracked. And we're like, oh, we're punching the $80 in the face. And it's going back down to $79. Yeah. I mean, back down to $69. Yeah, because nobody was pre-ordering it. What did you expect to happen? This is also a problem that they've created for themselves because people just wait for Game Pass. Why would I buy this? If I wasn't a content creator, putting that aside, why would I pay $70 for this when I could just play it on Game Pass? I wouldn't. And I don't think really anybody else would either. Pepper, thank you so much for the 10. The darker-skinned girl from Black Ops 7 is Frankie Adams, who played a Draper in The Expanse. They actually gave her the Outlaws treatment and made her uglier. Is it? Of course it is. Why is it that these companies pick fucking pretty women and then they uglify them? It's like with... What's her name from Outlaws? Humberly Gonzalez, is that her name? She's pretty. She's pretty in real life. And look what they did to her in Outlaws. Holy fuck, they butchered her. She looks terrible. It's so stupid. It's... If I was hired to be in one of these games, right? And that was my face, I'd trash them every fucking day on social media. I don't even care. I don't even care. I would trash them as much as possible. I'd leak information to them, to the media. I would do my best to ruin that company's image. This is why I'll never work for one of these companies. But that's terrible. You have people who are actually pretty, and then it's like, I don't even want to say they've put the least amount of effort in, because it's like they're intentionally putting in so much effort to ruin these characters' looks. That's so bad. That is actually terrible. People have already lowered their expectations for games today. I feel like companies still have just enough loyal fanboys to keep buying their games despite how woke they keep getting. Yes, but I think that they're starting to reach a point where people are actively turning away. I think that it's gotten to a point where they still have those fans, but with each release, they are pushing a lot of them away. It's like with Assassin's Creed, for example. They are saying Assassin's Creed Shadows sold well. Surely, it sold well. But how many people are truly on social media defending them? Even if there are people who like the game, they're not voicing their opinions. very loudly. Right? Whenever you go to an Assassin's Creed post, it's primarily negative comments. People who are upset, sure. Also, in part, people who are trolling them. But it's not positive. So even the people who were like, yeah, I'm still gonna show up, I'm still gonna buy it, those people aren't defending. At all. Corey, I haven't read it yet. I'm not gonna laugh. Whatever it is. I'm not gonna. Gotta steel myself. Corey, thank you so much for the 5. Hey Vera, I recently opened a company selling trampolines disguised as prayer mats. Profits are going through the roof. Thank you for that 5. Thank you for the 5. I'm not laughing. All right, fine. You win this time. Whew, that's a good one. That was actually really good. You know what? This is what you get in response. Thank you, Corey, for the 5. Ooh. Anyway, we've talked about it. Video game characters are fucking ugly. Are we particularly shocked? No. I'm not the only person who thinks that they're ugly either. Given all these posts on social media are of gamers who are also wrecking these individuals and these developers. Maybe these developers are actually good at their jobs, and they have been told by the higher ups at their companies they need to make these ugly characters or they're going to be blacklisted. I'm pressing X to doubt. But yeah, I mean, these characters are fucking ugly. What game even is this? Yep, everyone now has to be made for people who want to see themselves on screen. Who designed these characters? Their outfits suck, way too busy, over-detailed, impractical, illogical. The hearts on the knees of the 4th character are an interesting touch, but in general, these characters are garbage. Yep, this is ugly. You already know. Not one white male companion. Well, I think this guy's technically supposed to... Well, I guess he's not really white. I was gonna say, I think he's technically supposed to kind of sort of be. But I guess he's... like mid-toned. Listen, it's the best you're gonna get. You will take the they thems and you will like it. Absolutely horrendous designs. Really, really bad all around. Not a fan, obviously. It's not about the color of their skin, it's about that their character designs are fucking trash. Their armor sets are really bad. Their hairstyles are really bad. The makeup on some of them's awful. Like, what are these boots? Like, what the fudge are these? It looks like she's got croissants shoved on her feet. I can't look at this image anymore. Anyway, gamers are unhappy. They look bad. And speaking of characters that look really fucking bad, guys, if you haven't already, go and pick up Kill the Justice League. It's on sale for $3.26. And the deluxe edition that was once $100 is now $4.66. They could make it free and it still wouldn't be worth it. Absolutely true. Humiliation Ritual isn't worth a penny. Sale, wasn't it free? This was a game that was free for a limited time. It's not a game that's consistently free, but it was... Yeah, it was a couple. It was a couple of times. Yep. It's not even worth free. And I still have no desire to buy that game. Yeah. It's really, really bad. But I thought it was kind of funny. Pay me to play it. Sam, I agree. Hey, it's like I always say, I'll pay these fucking well, I do play these trash games usually, but I'll play more trash games for a hefty price tag. I can only waste so many brain cells at once before I have to put my foot down and say enough is enough. Like, tonight. Guys, truly, I'm sorry if I blocked you by accident, even though my block list is empty. And I've actually not blocked anybody. Actually, how do I see my block list on X? I'll prove it. I'll prove it. How do I do this? Is it settings and privacy? Block? Blocked accounts. Okay, here's... Oh, this is the wrong... Hey, this is the wrong one. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me hide this in case I leak anything. I don't think... No, it doesn't have any information. Here you go. I'll bring it back up. Share screen. Here we go. Here we go! Pretty weird. 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 Yeah, because I'm not a little fucking bitch. I don't have to block people. Because I don't take anything personally. Because this is the internet. And... yeah, people say what they want on the internet. Anyway. Let's talk about pornography. Good segue! I know! I know. It's truly an inspirational one. It's been an interesting day. Over the past couple of hours, I've seemed to upset quite a few people. Which I didn't mean to. But before we get into this conversation, let me bring this up. I got it right here. Let me bring this up and give you guys a great old quote. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed, every date has been altered, and in the process, it's continuing day by day and minute by minute. History is stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right. That is the mentality of the communists on social media, who are sitting here demanding everything that they don't like or agree with is banned. This individual, Dusty Devers, he is an Oklahoma state senator, posted this thread, "Porn must be abolished." Think about all the 7-year-olds in your life, children, nephews, nieces, neighbors. 50% of 7-year-olds will be exposed to pornography in the next 5 years. Read this paragraph repeatedly until the gravity of it hits you. Now, this doesn't boil down to actually protecting the children. It boils down to power and control. These people do not actually care about protecting individuals. They care about being able to monitor you. They care about surveillance. And over the past couple of weeks, we've seen expanded surveillance on the internet. And of course, there are people worldwide who want to push more censorship upon individuals. Now, obviously, and I had said this on social media, let me find it. Obviously, right, he starts off with the, oh my gosh, the poor children. And yes, any normal person wants pornography to be out of the reach of children. If you are not a normal person and you think it's okay, yeah, there's a problem with you. Any normal person wants pornography to be out of reach of children. But we cannot censor everything for everyone because parents aren't doing their job. Now, I myself am not a parent. But if I was, you bet your bottom fucking dollar I would be using parental controls. They exist on every major platform. They exist on every major piece of technology. And you as a parent should be doing your job. It should not be up to governments and politicians and everyday citizens to monitor the internet because your child might see it. Protect your children. take care of your children. But don't blame everybody else when you're not doing a good job as a parent. And that's what we see now. America is apparently supposed to outlaw pornography. This is his latest on The Blaze. Why America can and must outlaw pornography. And of course, what is pornography, guys? To this individual, no person shall knowingly photograph, act in, pose for, model for, print, sell, offer for sale, give away, exhibit, publish, offer to publish, or otherwise distribute, display, or exhibit any book, magazine, story, pamphlet, paper, writing, card, advertisement, circular, print, picture, photograph, motion picture film, electronic video game, or recording, image, cast, slide, figure, instrument, statue, drawing, presentation, or other article which is obscene material, unlawful pornography, or child SA material. He wants to ban statues. He wants to ban books. He wants to ban video games. He wants to ban stories. He wants to ban pamphlets and pictures and slides and casts and instruments. This is not okay. Fuck censorship. I will never agree with the stance that you have. Obviously, if we are talking about legitimate illegal material, a real human being is being harmed from an action, yes, there should be laws. I am not sitting here saying 100% of everything should be allowed unregulated, right? There are certain things that, yes, are disgusting and degenerate and illegal. But is a video game illegal? Is a book illegal? No. No. They are protected. If we are going to start banning statues, and we're going to start banning books, we're going to start banning drawings, we're going to start banning magazines, you probably should look in the mirror and see that you're actually a problem. Again, yes, there is some illegal content online, and I completely understand that. That stuff shouldn't be allowed. I'm not saying that stuff should be. But there is a difference between material which profits off of the pain of a real person and pixels on a screen portraying a story that has adult and mature themes in it. There is a very big difference. And the fact that this is coming from somebody who is an Oklahoma state senator is crazy. It's crazy. Well, guys, say goodbye to Michelangelo. Guys, say goodbye to, I don't know, probably 80% of the history books about royal bloodlines. Say goodbye to your Witcher. Say goodbye to 1984. Say goodbye to Ayn Rand. Say goodbye to A Song of Ice and Fire. Say goodbye to The Realm of the Elderlings. Say goodbye to the fucking dictionary for having offensive words in it. Basically, say goodbye to everything. It's always the claim that they want to protect children when these people truly do not care about protecting children. This guy really needs to get together with his fellow communists, his fellow collective shouters, right? And what he needs to do is they need to, you know what? They can all go to Australia. He can go to Australia. They can all stay in Australia together. But yeah, I'm not saying that we need to go to zero regulation, but the bare minimum is always what's best for people. Yeah, I mean, the worst possible entity to do the job for you is always going to be the government. The tool of the Marxists itself, the state. Do not let the state control your life. And of course, that's what people like this want to happen. Because of their sensitivities, right, and their opinions, they believe that they know what is best for you. You just need to do what they say. And you would think that a politician like this, right? He would be up for a conversation. He would maybe completely disagree with my stance. I might completely disagree with his stance. But what does he do? Imagine being a politician that represents anybody, really. And this is your best response. Is to block somebody who's criticizing your stance. A fucking politician. And I didn't leave like a long constructed message. This was my response to him. Protect children from obscenity. Rip the mask off. Control and intimidate the masses into obedience. That is what got me blocked by this politician. One single image is all it took to bother him so much. To push him to the point where he felt like he had to block me. One single post. Absolutely pathetic. Gaming Wolf, thank you so much for the 3 months, guys. All your donations, all your memberships. They upset the politicians, the feminists, the journalists. Who don't they offend at this point? Whatever, it's a leftist politician or a politician on the right. The hardest ones pushing for the ban stuff is mostly on the right most of the time. And that is true, yeah. I mean, going back to the ESRB, in the early 2000s, right? There were politicians left and right who have attacked the video game, going back to Satanic Panic. And this is an individual on the right. People on the right should not be calling for censorship. They should not be supporting censorship. Nope. We are supposed to be better than the absolutely unhinged leftists. But this is the problem, right? Is I've talked about before. I don't necessarily consider myself on one side or another because ultimately I'm just someone who stands for the opinions that I have. And when it comes to politicians, I think that there are some decent ones out there, but the majority of them are two-faced. They will say what they believe is going to get you to vote for them. I'm somebody who very much so looks at individual policies and stances and practices, and that's how I vote, or that is what I base my personal political opinions on. Because it's people like this is the reason why there are plenty of people out there who don't want to be lumped into a specific side. You know, very clearly, right, I'm not considered a leftist by any leftist possible. But this is somebody who is on the right, who should, for all intents and purposes, be standing for no censorship within this country. But he is. And he is, you know, a very religious individual. And power to him. I respect his personal religious beliefs. But that isn't a write-off for you wanting to completely fucking destroy what this country stands for. Sorry. You can have your opinion. You can have your political opinion. That is perfectly fine. I can completely respect that. 100%. But you want to demolish what this country is about. And that's not okay. And I don't care if you're on a left or a right or an up or a down. It's a bad take. And I'm going to call it out. It's just that simple. You guys know. You guys know. It's just my stance. It's pretty pathetic that this one image bothered him so much that it got to the point where he blocked me over it. And again, somebody said, why do you want children to watch this stuff? Any normal person wants pornography to be out of reach of children, but we can't censor everything for everyone because parents aren't doing their job. You should never rely on the state to do something for you. You should never rely on the state to actually protect people, because if politicians actually did care about protecting people, they would not be okay with the censorship. He really hated that image. Everybody, don't leave any other commentary, but go over to this post right here. Oh, I can't even share it. The fudge. Go on over to this post, and it'd be a shame. It would truly be a shame if you guys were to copy my image and then paste it. Don't say anything else. Use your freedom of speech, my brethren. And just leave that one image. Let's see how many of us we can get blocked tonight. Whew. It would be a great shame if people were to copy that image, yeah. It seems to bother him a little bit. I wouldn't want to make him so upset. Anyway, very fascinating stance that he's got. A true shame. It'd be a true shame if you guys were to do that and then I could repost it. That'd be a true shame. Yeah, truly a huge, huge shame. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. If you're not, give it a dislike. We are over 300 likes. Thank you so much. Take a second to leave a like. Check out the links in the description. Subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already. Where is it? What did that just say? Did that just say privacy is normal? I swear to God it said piracy is normal. I was gonna say, hell yeah, brother! Go subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already. Also, donate, support, become a member. Make your name green. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. We got quite a few reviews on up. Anyway, go subscribe. Brother, sail the season, my brother. I thought it said piracy is normal. I didn't do a double take. I think it said privacy. Whew. Anyway, these people should learn what parental fucking controls are. These people should say adults should do their job. Parents should monitor what their children do online. And if you're a parent and you're not, you're a pretty bad parent. If you have good parental systems in place and you have restricted access to the internet or a certain amount of time your child can be on the internet every day, this would not be a problem. You give them devices that can only look at certain web pages, that can only access certain content that you okay. There's locks in place. And if you raise your kid right, maybe we wouldn't be in this predicament. But we are. Because, well, there are parents who don't do their jobs. But that doesn't mean that everybody should be punished for it. Just my take. Just my take. What second channel? It's in the description. I have a review channel. I put up all my video game. It says privacy is normal. Thought it said piracy. The second channel has got my live stream reviews on it. Soon I'll be doing some collection videos, like my Tolkien collection, some of my other books, like fantasy books, my Box Nest collection. I've just been busy with this other stuff lately, but go and subscribe if you have not already. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, I really appreciate it. You guys are what keeps this channel alive because the politicians want me banned, so I don't know, I'm making enemies everywhere, but it is what it is. I thought she did everything on one channel. These are live streams these are reviews that are clipped from my live stream, so it is all technically still on the one channel, but I upload it separately to the second channel as well. So in case people just want to see a specific review for a specific piece of content. It's not about the kids anyway. Oh no, it really isn't. It's never just about protecting the children. It's about power and it's about control. And when you hear a child is viewing, you know, P online, obviously you think, oh my god, that's terrible. Any normal person would think that that's terrible. But should it really be the government who is making the decision of what everybody can see? Absolutely not. Also, Bilbo? Hi! Hello! Hero! That's my child. I don't let him go on the internet. Absolutely fucking not. Because I'm a good parent. Okay? I'm a good parent. It's not my fault these other parents are trash. Anyway, this is, I guess, what got me blocked. I can't say I'm shocked that somebody else is out here blocking somebody for their opinion, and a politician at that, but yeah, I guess ultimately it doesn't really matter. I guess ultimately we must ban the production and distribution of digital prostitution in these United States. We must then relentlessly prosecute anyone who violates the ban. Guys, soon you're gonna be getting arrested for playing video games. Collective Shout wants it. This guy wants it. Who doesn't want it at this point? Everybody does, apparently. Moving on. Now we're gonna talk about Gamescom. Boy, oh boy. Has it been a very interesting day because of Gamescom. Drew, thank you so much for the $9.99. Much appreciated. Gotta get ready to head into work. Gonna lurk. Good night, Bear. Good night, chat. Good night, Bilbo. And Meshcat. Thank you so much for the support, Drew. Of course, I really appreciate it, and I hope work goes well for you. Thanks for stopping by. I live streamed Gamescom earlier, and some of it was fine. I don't think the entire event was absolutely trash, but it reminded me a lot of what happened a couple of months ago at Summer Games Fest with the Make FPS Great Again hat. There were a lot of individuals in the access media and the gaming industry who were very upset over the fact that the Splitgate 2 developer had went on stage and wore a Make FPS Great Again hat because he said it wasn't political, but they said that it was, right? They believed that it was political, and it was a disgusting, degenerate comment, and it was a political statement. Have they ever complained about individuals going up on stage wearing LGBTQ plus rainbow flag pins or these shirts? Are they complaining now that at Gamescom they got completely political and went on stage and said democracy is under attack? No. They are shockingly, or not shockingly to 95% of people, they are praising it. Kotaku changed their article title. As you can see right here, it says Gamescom Showcase Gets Political, Democracy is Under Attack. They changed it to Dev Behind Nazi Detective Game Takes the Stage at Gamescom with an Important Message. My opinion is that video games are a form of escapism. And while, yes, some video games do have political statements behind them or themes, right, that could be deemed political or adult, I think ultimately we shouldn't be getting on stage and making political statements. I think that if You're going to get on a stage and make a political statement, though. Anybody should be able to get on a stage and make the political statement. And we know that it's rules for thee, but not for me. The Access media, people within the industry complained when the Splitgate developer went on stage and wore the Make FPS Great Again hat. And he claims that it wasn't a political statement. I call bullshit. I think that a slogan used by a political figure can be deemed a political statement. Regardless, though, it's all or nothing. So they complained then that he did that and said that's terrible, degenerate, awful behavior. But now they're praising the fact that other developers went on stage and said that democracy is under attack. Where is democracy under attack? How is democracy under attack? What's going on? Of course they're not going to say that, because that wouldn't support the narrative they're trying to push. But they had this whole section at the event. I did live stream my initial reactions earlier. And of course, it's all bullshit. The Darkest Files is a game about investigating NZs long after World War II has ended in order to deliver justice for their victims. And in an unusual moment that punctuated the evening's typical industry hype, its director appeared on stage at Gamescom 2025's opening night live showcase to highlight why games like his are important. The Darkest Files shows we cannot simply stand by and watch, we must take action. Games are more than entertainment. Like any great form of art, they reflect our concerns, our fears, our hopes, and what preoccupies us. Democracy is under attack right now. Minority rights are being violated. Where? Who's this a statement about? Huh? Who? Yes, there are some games and some books and some movies and some pieces of media that are supposed to be very deep. They have a lot of meaning. They're very philosophical, right? They're supposed to get the cogs turning in your brain, but some games are just games. And some games are just escapism. Not all art is political, in my opinion. I don't believe that. I don't believe every single piece of good media has to have some deeper meaning behind it. And you're allowed to, it's your prerogative, right? To say your game is actually a statement. You're allowed to do that. But is this the place to do so? At Gamescom opening night live? Well, I don't necessarily think so. He continued, the world is becoming increasingly interconnected. What does that have to do with anything? So games are a powerful medium for addressing these issues, and they have the potential to inspire change. I'm glad that not only are many people in the video game industry engaging in projects like this, but also more and more institutions like European Commission or the United Nations. Yes, because the UN and the EC are great organizations. Listen, guys, and great governments, right? He's basically just sitting here saying that he's glad other individuals in the industry are pushing propaganda. That's all it really boils down to. Right? I can't monetarily support censorship. I'm out. Sorry, guys. Listen, tech. Nobody's censoring you. You haven't been censored. You're literally here talking. Feel free to make a cohesive, normal argument, and I will look at your message. Feel free to put your argument in chat, and I'll bring it up on screen right now. But you're here. You're chatting. You did get timed out for 300 seconds. Because you were being disruptive, and that is against the rules. Right? But you're here now. You've not been permanently timed out or censored. You're literally chatting. And that's fine. If this community isn't for you, it is what it is. You're being disruptive. You're not making clear and cohesive arguments. And really, you're just here to disrupt the stream. So feel free to make the argument. Yeah. Anyway, his appearance in the Darkest Files being highlighted at the showcase are part of the event's Gamescom Cares initiative, which includes trying to give a platform to responsibility projects. Companies don't actually care about you or your sexuality or your stance. They really just care about making money. And I'm not necessarily saying that that's bad, because they should care about money, first and foremost. But they claim that they're doing all these things and these responsibility projects. They don't actually care. And to promote them as such is kind of insane. Did they mention anything about Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection at Gamescom yet? No, they did not. While he didn't say exactly who democracy is under attack from, the comments come amid the backdrop of right-wing authoritarian shifts in several governments across the globe, including President Trump's recent deployment of military forces on the streets of the U.S. Capitol. There's Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine and the increasingly dire humanitarian crisis in Gaza amid ongoing reports of the Israeli military shooting civilians and blocking aid. The brief Gamescom segment was the most overtly political that host Jeff Keighley has ever let into one of his showcases, even if it stopped short of any direct calls to action. I don't think that there should have been any statements like this made. And if there is, and if this is suddenly allowed, then ultimately we shouldn't see the Access media complaining when Make FPS Great Again Hatman shows up. Hey, I'm anti-censorship, right? I'm not sitting here saying that people's voices should be silenced, even if I disagree with your statement or what you're saying. I just want everyone to be treated equally and fairly. And if we're talking about, right, in this case, somebody being allowed to go up on a stage and make a political statement, then everybody should be allowed to make a political statement. And that's extremely disruptive to an event like this. And that's an issue. So yeah, that's my opinion. That's my stance. I used to have a little bit of a different stance because around the time of the Blitzchung controversy. Because I used to say, basically, it's not that big of a deal. And I didn't think that his account should have been banned for it. But, well, I guess it's not really that much of a different stance. Because I do still believe that people's accounts shouldn't be banned for what they're saying. But if we're allowing everybody to get up and make a political statement, then legitimately everybody should be able to. And see, that's the problem. Gaming events should not be used as political platforms. Video games are a form of escapism. They're entertainment. And, well, these people are just activists. I'd love for the gaming industry to not be overtly political and activists running rampant, but we know that that's the state that we're in at this point. I watch these events for games. I'm buying games. Therefore, I should be able to consume games. So, yeah. I mean, are any of us shocked at all whatsoever that Kotaku is saying that this is okay and this is right and this is good? Absolutely not. None of us are shocked. But, of course, if anybody's going to do it and be a hypocrite, it's going to be Kotaku. I wonder what the Gamescom response has been specifically to this. I haven't really seen that much. But I think over the next probably like day, people will be talking more about this. I mean, who knows, right? Lame and Gay. He won in his, he and his message was creepy AF. No, it's not. Here we go. Yeah, the comments are already starting, and Kotaku did change their article title. Because they probably realized, well, maybe we should, not just, well, I guess that's not true. I was gonna say not overtly bring up politics, but putting the quote, democracy is under attack is still, well, I guess they don't have that here either. Wait, so they had 3 different, because they had this one. Gamescom showcase gets political, democracy is under attack. Then Gamescom opening night live takes a break from the trailers with an important message, democracy is under attack. And then we have Deb behind Nazi detective game takes the stage at Gamescom with an important message. So I guess that's just several different fucking statements. I love inconsistent journos. That's okay. It is what it is. No Dustborn 2. I know we did not get the Dustborn 2 announcement. That's insane. How could this have happened? How could this have happened? We were all waiting for it. We've all been so excited about it. The Darkest Files. The Darkest Files. SteamDB. After his big political statement, how's it doing? Where is it? Heh. Where is it? Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily know about that. Hey! They were averaging 6. Now they're up to 17. That's pretty good. All that political pushing on stage really did a number for him. First thing I hear tuning in is after his big... Hello, Foxwolf. The modern audience did in fact show up for this game. 18? That's pretty good. Pretty good. What's going on over here? It's got a demo. Ooh, goody. Can't wait to play that. No, no, no. Weird stage speech. Wrong place, but whatever. Just one single game from German developers at the show, and it's about Nazis. Yeah. I thought the same thing, automatically put a bad taste in my mouth about the game. Phrasing felt really bad. You can talk about this in a subtle way, like this war of mine, but what he said wasn't. Saying democracy is under attack is a very touchy tone. I agree. Save democracy. Vote Trump 2028. And do not allow people to enter your country illegally. He deserves a gesture for that. He really does. Brought to you by Kitty Diddlers, Billionaires, Union Busters, and CO. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Congratulations to these developers for allowing, well, I guess for being allowed to go to this event and to basically yap and say whatever they want. Being allowed to make political speeches, and that is what it is. I think it's pretty ridiculous, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, let's pause for a minute. look at chat, guys. If you have any questions, any topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to put them in chat now and give details. No censor. I'll answer a couple. And then probably still be accused of censorship. Feel free to let me know what the questions at the top of your mind are. I've got chat right in front of me, not looking at anything else. Talk about the moon landing. It was a good stage, that's for sure. I believe we went to the moon. USA, where you're free to burn your own flag, but not the Israeli. Damn. Tracy. Torcito. Wow. Vera, can you say my name in your cutest voice? No. I have a question. When Dustborn full review, Vera? When you donate $500, I'll finish Dustborn. Guys, I'm never finishing Dustborn. I'm never finishing Dustborn. I'm never streaming it. I'm never reviewing it. Never doing it. Cereal is a soup. I'm with you, Vera. Hell yes. Foxwolf, I appreciate it. Will you play Okami before the new one comes out? When does the new one even come out? I think that's a better question. I don't think it has a date yet. I could be wrong. Nope. To be decided. So, probably. Because Okami's not that long of a game. So, I'd go out on a limb and say probably. No release date, yeah. Is Wukong getting a DLC? They announced the sequel today. And they'll probably end up doing a DLC. They hinted at a DLC. But there's no official confirmation. True and real. Chat really quickly. If you're enjoying the stream, give it a like. Donate, support, become a member. Thank you for being here. So bummed about Wu Chang. Yeah, it's a really sad situation all around. I think that the game is still really good. I think that it's fun. But I can't recommend it when it's been censored. And when it's been changed around. I'd love to still be able to sit here and say, yeah, you guys should go play it if you think it looks good. Obviously, you're all adults. Which means you have no rights. And I'm allowed to say I want to censor all the content you see because I'm a fucking lunatic. No. You're adults and you can spend your money on what you want. But, yeah, I think that when a game is censored like that, I can't recommend it. Was literally about to grab it. Don't know if I should now. If you think it still looks good, go for it. It's a good experience. It's a fun game. But if it was at this point, like if I hadn't already bought it and played it, I personally would not purchase it. But that's just my opinion. That's just my 2 cents. Ever been to Hawaii? No. I've not. Liza P is the best Souls. Liza P is the best non-From Software Souls-like. Agreed. Almost to 400 likes. True. We're only 20 away. Every like, every support pisses people off, guys. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I did grab AI Limit the other day, and I'm actually really enjoying it. Yeah, I got, what, halfway through it? And it was good, but there was a lot of other stuff releasing at the same time, so I ended up putting it down. Hot take, Ghost of Yotei will sell really well. I think Ghost of Yotei will sell a couple million copies. Now, if it will sell enough copies, that's a different question. I hope it's good. Genuinely, I want it to come out. I want it to be fun. But I don't know at this point. Think any Bloodborne will ever happen? A remaster or whatever? In my heart and my soul, In my dreams, I want to say yes. In reality, knowing the truth, probably not, no. I hate to be that person. But I don't think we're ever getting anything Bloodborne again. Yeah, no. Do you think one could use the uncensored version? Maybe the physical version of the game's uncensored. If you don't have to download the patch. But I don't know. Whatever happened to video games being fun instead of being serious? Some games are still really fun. Too much risk. That's why, Vera. True. Alright. That was fun. Glad we had that very uncensored conversation. Now it's time to go back to being censorship heavy and censoring you guys. Collective Shout wants to arrest gamers for cyber harassment. So anybody who's mean to me now, I will be reporting you to Collective Shout because they want to protect women, right? Therefore, anybody who's being mean to me and bullying me is going to get arrested because I'm a woman and I deserve protection and all that. I understand that on the internet, sometimes people are a little bit mean. And sometimes people might say something that hurts your feelings. And I understand that you might need to take some time away from social media. Sometimes you just need to take a step back. Maybe ignore what people are saying about you. And yes, there are inevitably going to be people who push the limits. There are going to be people who say mean, disgusting, bad things to you. But to ask for them to be arrested and demand international government cooperation between law enforcement agencies is insane to me. And that is, of course, exactly what Collective Shout is doing. Because they are saying anybody who is mean to them, anybody who's being rude to them, anybody who's hurting their feelings online should apparently get arrested. These are serious cases of cyber harassment, and there needs to be government responses, including international cooperation between law enforcement agencies. Now, over the past couple of weeks, they've probably been getting millions and millions of tags and posts and messages, and sure, there are always going to be individuals that push the limits. There are always going to be individuals online who say mean things, who do threaten people, and those posts are not okay. It is never all right to threaten somebody. But individuals like this will take criticism and banter and say that it is vile, degenerate content and that it's death threats and that they're credible threats. And this is the issue, is that, sure, we are talking about people who, yeah, right, as human beings, deserve to have their own opinions. But at the same time, when you want to kill a hobby enjoyed by 3.5 billion people, you need to expect people to not be happy with you. And you need to expect people to fight back against what you're saying. You can't expect people to treat you so nicely and it be rainbows and sunshine when you want to have billions and billions of people censored and have their hobbies ripped away from them and hobbies ruined. Of course, that's not gonna sit well with people, and you need to respect, or you need to kind of expect and understand that there are gonna be gamers who are gonna call you out on your bullshit. And they can't take that. They can't understand that. Now, they could just shut their social medias off. They could ignore people, but they're never going to do that because, of course, they want to be able to paint themselves as the victims. And when people are mean to them online, they're going to use that against all gamers. And that's what they're doing. Now, of course, we are very loud. We're very vocal. We're very argumentative individuals, and we're willing to stand up for ourselves and speak up for what we believe in. And that is exactly that's exactly what's happening. What I like most about it is that it did nothing to provide any evidence of misinformation, and then out of everyone, somehow I'm chosen, once again presented as a man and now being blamed for things that aren't happening. Also, you can take advantage of middle-aged women who have to dip into their savings while you lot laugh to the bank. The single loudest voice in opposition to you is a woman you refuse to debate because your positions are untenable and you're rife with cowardice at your every foundation. There are so many women who are upset with what they're saying. Let me ask, if the gaming industry is nearly 50% women, I believe the most recent figures that I've seen are the video game industry is 46% women, then by that logic, a large portion of the people fighting back against you on social media are always women. Why are you trying to censor women? Why are you trying to rip rights away from women? Yeah, it's a pretty bad fucking look. I mean, of course, they're ignoring basically any women who are fighting back against their stance. I know I've been obviously extremely vocal over the past couple of weeks, and all they've done is block me, ignore me, post about me. They're not very happy with me. And they're not happy with really any women who are fighting back against their stance. You'd think that for people who claim to be defending women and supporting women and respecting women, that they wouldn't want to silence women and rip rights away from women. But of course, that's what they're doing. Jesus, it's beyond hypocritical for you and Collective Shout to demand international law enforcement crackdowns over online backlash, when your organization has deliberately targeted and smeared creators, including other women, simply for creating or defending fictional content you personally dislike. They go on to talk about how they defended Cuties, a film that exploited real underage girls, under the excuse of commentary, how it's moral panic, the same pearl-clutching hysteria we saw during the Satanic Panic and video games cause violence era, which of course is something that they're still pushing today, because if they're saying by banning video games that portray violence against women, that means that they're saying there's a direct correlation between violence in video games and violence caused against real women, which is absurd. There's no consistent scientific evidence to back that up. But they're still going to make that claim. They say your comparison to Gamergate only shows how little you understand the culture you're trying to police. That movement wasn't a coordinated harassment campaign, as some like to label it, to better suit your narrative. And yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of Gamergate too. So you're not starting Gamergate, or Gamergate is not just returning for you, as they're claiming. Gamergate has been around. Gamergate has been fought against by these individuals, and you can say all you want that, oh my gosh, we're fighting to protect people, but you're not protecting anybody. If you were truly worried about protecting women and young girls in the real world, you would be talking about places where women are treated like slaves, where women are not allowed to read books, where women are not allowed to use cellular devices or the internet, where women are not allowed to drive, where women have to dress a certain way, where women are property. You know, you'd think that if they were real feminists and they were actually people who cared about women, they would be talking about those places, not pixels on a screen. But of course, when it comes to modern day feminists, fourth wave feminists, they only care about feminism in their sphere. They only care about protecting, in quotes, women in their sphere. They only care about talking about women in a way that they could profit off of. Women can read, I can't. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Funny enough, though, guys, after weeks of backlash and people calling them out, they actually decided to post about Roblox. Wow, it only took them multiple weeks, probably 4 weeks, for them to actually address this. Insane. Wow, guys. They're truly trying to protect the kids. They really are now. I saw a thumbnail picture of a game where you race women like horses. Oh. Una Musume? Musume? Uma Musume? It's a horse game. I know. Uma Musume. Hey, I said it right. I said it right. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional streamer. I think in one of my 8 attempts I said it right. That's degenerate content. Turning a woman... Well, racing a woman like a horse. That's just not right. We need to ban that game. Censorship is a slippery slope. And I get it, right? There might be content that you don't like on the internet, and that is perfectly fine. Hell, I'm not going to play the sex simulators that I'm talking about. I don't care about these sex simulators, but I care about their right to be able to exist. And so, while I might not personally buy them or play them, I'm going to defend their right to exist. And that's just my opinion. They also keep saying that there's games that have been like removed or that are on Steam and itch.io that like promote child abuse and that have like children in certain scenarios. I haven't seen any games like that, may I just add. I haven't seen a one. So, yeah. Sephiroth, thank you so much for the £1. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. All your donations and all your support is appreciated. The internet is actually fucking insane. Running from Diddy would be survival tutoring. Very educational. Sometimes the internet is funny. Bad, but also funny. I don't think that they've been hiding any replies, have they? No. That's nice of them. But you guys better be careful, because every message you send in chat, whether it's here on YouTube, or you send in a video game, or you send through your phone, it's all monitored now, and soon you could be banned for it. You could be arrested for it. You could be targeted for it. Yeah. What they're asking for is absolutely insane. And while there are some people out there, as we clearly know, who are going to support that, cough, cough, the individual, Dusty Devers, who was going after me earlier, right? Yeah, it's not actually about protecting the children. It's about control and intimidating the masses into obedience. So yeah, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up stream in just a couple of minutes. Probably about 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any questions, any topics, feel free to leave them in chat, of course. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of your likes. The stream just appeared to freeze. Hope that's not true. I appreciate all your likes, your donations, your support. Thank you for being here. And the stream did jank? Okay. I thought so. Because it looked like it had janked for me for a minute, but... Well, how did these people really expect us to react? How do they expect us to respond to this situation? Do they really think that we're just going to sit back and let them censor our entertainment? And that we're just going to sit here while they fucking ruin everything that we love and cherish and care about and appreciate? Stream jank? That's it, guys. This really is my last stream. They're shutting me down, partners. It's been a good ride. Yeah, that's how it goes. The state of the world is causing crippling anxiety within me. How do you guys handle the situation as well as you do? Just keep fighting. It is hard to see so much news about the mediums we care about, whether they're video games, movies, TV shows being censored or being ruined, being taken and used as political platforms for activists. It is hard. But for me personally, that's a big reason why I talk about so much that I do on this channel. Perfect time to put the journal hat on, huh? As I'm about to go into my last minute before the end of stream monologue. I'm such a retard, huh? Drew, thank you for the $9.99. Thank you for helping hit the goal. I appreciate it. It's hard to be able to siphon through so much of the news because, yeah, a lot of it is negative, and that does suck. But there is also still good. And the more we fight, the more likely it is that we get what we want, and ultimately that we are able to protect our entertainment. And that's why I put up so much content on this channel, and I talk about it so much, and I try to bring so much awareness to the conversation. I know that there's been some people saying, you know, I should boycott YouTube, right? I should leave YouTube and put my statement where my mouth is, put my money where my mouth is, which I understand that mentality, but if that happened and I stopped uploading to YouTube, my views would be cut in fourths. And it's not about the money or whatever. It's about the fact that that means that 3/4 of the people that I'm able to give information to, those people would not be getting the information anymore. And that would be doing severely more damage to our cause. And that's why I think it's so important to have as much reach as possible, right? Because that means I'm able to help people become so much more aware. And the more awareness means the more people who are upset. The more people who are upset, the more people who are talking about it. And the more people who are talking about it means the more chance we have it change. So, yeah, that's why I do what I do. And it is definitely tough to manage the anxiety. I know a lot of people feel that way, but there are a lot of really good games out there. And in my opinion, you know, fighting back as much as possible is good and does make you feel good. At least for me, personally. I'm glad that I'm able to sit here and talk about these situations and bring so much awareness and attention to them. That is good in my opinion. Or at least good for me. Maybe not for everybody, but that's okay. Boycott Australia. I do have some Australian viewers, and of course, if there's any of you listening, I appreciate it. I appreciate my Australian friends for being here and supporting. You guys are cool, but I think soon you're not going to be allowed to be in the stream anymore. You know what I mean? I think soon Australia is going to cut you guys off, so. Devers removed or hid my repost. Man, this guy's sensitive. Why? He's supposed to represent the great United States of America. The Playboy president. For him to ban adult content would be the biggest hypocrisy ever. Just saying. Damn, he hid that. He didn't like that. He's not really a fan of people having opinions, huh? Classic. I'll keep my eye on his social media. I'll see what else he has to say. I don't think he's gonna say anything good, though. Yes, let's ban it like alcohol. That worked out well, you fucking idiots. That's so good. Oh. Oh my. Oh no, I'm good, thank you. Think of the children is already overused by everyone. We're not blind to your empty tricks. Ban it in your own home, then, you miserable cuck. I love the internet. I would be lost without the fucking internet at this point. I love being able to fucking doom scroll and see comments like this. I love it. Rover, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships to the channel. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Everybody say thank you, or you already know. You're banned. God, this guy. Anyway, with that being said, that's gonna be the end of the live stream. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Rover is giving a raised eyebrow. What happened? What did I do? What? What did I do? All I'm doing is reading comments from normal internet citizens. Thank you, or you already know you're banned. That is true. But yeah, guys, I will be live again on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be playing yet. I'm thinking we're going to be playing Venus Vacation. I have to double check. I kind of want to play some kind of waifu game with very attractive ladies that we can all respect. I don't know what yet. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the Discord server in the content suggestion tab. Starting next week, there's a lot of games coming out, so we'll be busy then, but we have a couple of streams left. But yeah, guys, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, I'll be here live streaming something. Don't know what yet, but something good. Of course, guys, I appreciate all of your donations. I appreciate all of your memberships. I appreciate all of your chats. I appreciate all of your likes. Go and subscribe to the second channel if you haven't already. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the community I have. The politicians are pissed at me now, but it is what it is. I'm not that bothered by it yet. I sent a donation. Where did it go? It did not. Did you through Streamlabs? Streamlabs donations do not pop up for StreamYard streams, unfortunately. But if you did donate through Streamlabs, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Rover's still glaring at me. I don't know what I did. Rover. Oh, through Streamlabs. It didn't pop up because I'm on StreamYards, but at the beginning of next stream, I will be able to play it. I'll be able to do the donation notifications, everything. StreamYard's wonky. I can't do them through StreamYards, unfortunately. But I probably did get the donation, and I will show it at the next stream. So make sure to stop by them. Guys, of course, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you hanging out. Live again on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. New videos today. Check them out. New videos tomorrow per usual. All that fun stuff. Follow me on social media. Join the Discord. Subscribe to the second channel. Just letting you know that Tetris is the best game ever. Tetris is not the best game ever. Tetris sucks. And it's honestly probably one of the worst games ever. Maybe worse than Dustborn. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for stopping by. And have a really, really fantastic rest of your evening, everyone.